Yeah, I don't want to go to jail for anything. I'm much too, like, weak.
And you're pretty. You are listening to the Stand Up Dads podcast.
This is hecka boring.
Yeah, it is.
Let's try again.
We're at Annie's today. You had some drama at your place, and I have to say it's a very tasteful place. I really like it. So she has good taste. I don't know what the fuck she's doing with you.
Yeah, what is going on here? This does not look like
someone that would be into you.
Do you really want to bring this into this, is what you're saying?
So, Annie, thank you for letting us use your home. You're listening to Stand Up Dads. This is Rob.
And Mike.
And today we're going to talk about taking your kid fishing, because I just did that recently a couple of times and realized, holy shit, in an otherwise pretty bleak relationship, it's one of the high spots for us. So figure it's easy enough to do.
A bleak relationship.
We've been butting heads a lot. It's just he's tired of school. I've been home.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of...
I think what it is we beat ourselves up. Like, the kids always come out as like, I had the greatest time, and we think that it went terrible, and they're super sad, and now we've scarred them. Mm-hmm. Every day I think I've done something that's like, that wasn't going to be, that's a scar. And it's like, no, they just wanted to have a fit, or they wanted to yell at you, and they forgot about it. They're moved on to the next thing.
I don't want it to. Yeah. I've been joking with Kim that, I think I need to go out and get a pack of cigarettes. I don't even smoke. It's just like, oh, no, you don't.
But, just to get like out for a little?
No, that's always like the joke. That my dad went out to get a pack of cigarettes and never came back. So I keep joking about that, and she keeps getting pissed off. That's not funny. But no, I took him fishing on Saturday, and we went over to the Lincoln Fishery. So if you're in Sacramento, Lincoln, it's pretty much fishing with training wheels.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's got like 4 little ponds, and it's just got these
And
fish.
it's in Lincoln, the little town?
Yeah, it's out in the boonies over by the airport.
That's a cute little town. Okay.
You don't see the town. It's really out in the middle of nowhere. And
it's full of fish.
Yeah, it's a great place to take a little kid if you want to guarantee success.
Wow.
Because I remember... I remember going like to Lake Chabot as a kid with my dad and never catching shit.
Yes.
I think the best I did was I caught a cup full of mud with a crawdad in it. And I just was discouraged because he was pissed. I was pissed.
It's super hard at Lake Chabot, yeah. And they'd be like, oh, we just stocked it.
Bullshit.
It's gigantic,
Yeah. Shoot, I took him at the beginning of the month and it was okay. And we went again on Saturday and he got like, we stopped counting at like 20 like little bluegills. And actually, the first one he got was huge. It was like the size of a dinner plate. I didn't know they got that big.
Oh, is that the one in the photo that you had?
Yeah.
Up? Yeah, that was big
huge.
next to him, yeah.
And then he caught a bass.
Wow.
So this place is the equivalent of like those game reserves where, hey, come to our reserve on our 1 acre park and kill a lion, that's chained to a post, so you can feel like a big bad hunter, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
But again, for little kids, it's great.
But you get to throw the fish back in? Or
it's all catch and release.
Oh, okay.
And which again brings me to, that's got to be a horrible existence for those fish.
I know. What is happening? Every day.
Normally it's like their whole thing is don't get eaten. But like now it's like, if I eat this, is it going to kill me?
Yes.
Or is it going to hurt? Because there was a few that I caught or that he caught, and I would take them off, and I would see their lips are all jacked up.
Dang it!
And I was like, oh, this poor guy.
Yeah.
And the bass he caught though was like, it was probably the biggest one I saw of the day.
Yeah.
And he did it on his own, and I fucked up because apparently when I tied the hook on, I did it wrong.
Yeah.
Because it came off, but I was still able to get the fish.
Wow.
Because it fell on the dirt.
Wow.
But I saw so I get it when I see other parents there.
Yeah.
It's a great place to take little kids.
Yeah.
I'm kind of creeped out by the adults that are there by themselves.
Oh.
It's like, I don't get it.
Yeah, why would you want to just constantly catch them and throw them back in?
Well, I mean, that's what you do with bass because people don't really eat it because it's kind of a muddy tasting fish. But I'll just never forget. There was this dude that I was watching fishing all day, and he didn't catch shit. And I remember him giving my kid the side eye, like, because he was so excited. He's like, it's a bass, it's a bass.
Yeah.
And you probably heard it here.
Yeah, wow.
But it was great because
he recognized what fish it was.
Well, yeah, because he saw other people catching stuff.
Oh.
So, but it was a great day because we didn't argue, because he didn't ask for his iPad, which he wants all the goddamn time. He actually listened to what I had to say because it mattered.
Yeah.
And, at the end of the day, he went to bed early because he was freaking exhausted.
Wow.
So it was just a good day,
Yeah.
Instead of us butting heads all the time, because usually it's just, you got to do your schoolwork. No, you got to, your hands smell like poo. Go wash your hands. No, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was just a good one. I mean, earlier this month when I took him, it wasn't so good because I was yelling at him.
Yeah.
And I felt a lot better because I saw another parent there with 2 little kids. And he was just screaming at his kids. And I was like, I feel you. Mainly because he was just trying to herd cats.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, you're going to yell at your kid if you tell him, okay, hold the pole and do not move because you're going to rehook, tie the hook on or whatever.
Yeah.
And twice this happened. The first time is, I'm hooking it on and then he would just drop the pole because he saw a butterfly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it. Gotta yank this fucking hook out of my hand now.
Ow. Yeah.
But I don't know. But I was talking to other people about this before, thinking, is it even worth an episode? But everybody I talked to had memories of fishing with their dads or grandpa.
Yeah.
I mean, did you?
Not with my dad. My grandpa liked to go fishing, and I remember at least one time going. I don't know if we went more, but I remember one time that I went just with him. And I am not a fisherman type kid, read comics and draw. So it was fun to go with him, and I totally remember that day because the fun of it, like for me, and which not until an adult knew I was ADHD. I'm just like a bouncing off the wall type kid sitting there was torture.
Yeah.
To be there 6 or, I think we were there the whole day sitting there. I don't think I caught anything either. I had fun casting. So that I would cast a lot. So that probably also took away from it that I just always go, whizz. I liked seeing how far I could throw it out there. But my grandpa, and I must have known this from my brother or other people that went with him, there was a giant carp that was in Lake Chabot at that time, and he kept trying to catch it, and it was like his Moby Dick, and like he almost got it that time. It was like he'd get it enough so you'd see its giant head come out, and then he'd snap the thing, and he'd be like, God damn it. And he just wanted to, because he never really, like if he caught stuff, it's like, but that one I know he probably was going to, that if he had caught that, he was going to post its head or its body on the wall or something.
Well, it's funny because everyone gets pissed off when they catch carp over there.
Yeah.
Because they're a bony-ass fish. So.
Yeah, no, he wanted to kill that carp because it was gigantic.
Sure.
It looked like a dinosaur head coming out of the water.
That'd just be good for the fight.
Yeah. Yeah. It was one that I think because it had been there so long, it was like, that's a big friggin' fish. It made it like something he wanted to get.
I get that. I remember fishing with my dad, and it was usually negative because he took it so seriously.
Yeah.
Because when he was growing up, you went fishing. If you didn't catch anything that day, you didn't eat that night.
Oh, yeah.
So that was his way of looking at it because his grandpa was a fisherman and all this stuff. But I'll never forget, like, we would go to Half Moon Bay a lot.
Yeah.
And it was usually like the party boats, you go out deep sea fishing. And I remember one year I took him, I think it was for his birthday, and the limit at the time was 15. And we'd take these big burlap potato sacks, and they would just fill up. We got the limit, and he would just come back pissed off because the fish weren't big enough. And I'm like, you got 15 big-ass fish, and I've got 15 big-ass. We're going to eat fish for the rest of the fucking year.
Yeah.
Why are you pissed? And it's not like it's, I don't know.
But he wanted bigger ones, yeah.
Yeah. And then I'll never forget, remember we were talking about climbing around on the rock wall?
Yes.
He, in addition to all the fishing gear we brought out, he brought a crab net. The big circular rings that you just throw out there with like a piece of chicken tied to it. Because why not?
Yeah.
And I remember he was screaming. I'm like, what the fuck? Because with the activity, I thought he was falling in or something. And I ran over there on this rock wall, which takes a minute. And I see him just like all this activity. I'm like, what the fuck? He's got like a 3-foot lingcod in the crab net.
Whoa.
And he loves lingcod, bacalhau in Portuguese.
Yeah.
And we're like, what the fuck do we do? So like all these other people come running over and they start to bash it on the head just because you couldn't control that fucking thing. So.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget like walking back and he's proudly holding it over his shoulder so everyone can see it.
Yeah.
Like, how'd you get, wow, what were you using? It was like crab net. No one believed.
Wow.
But, I mean, he was so pumped that day.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a magnificent day.
He enjoyed it. And then I'm not saying this. I'm not a big fisherman guy. I mean, I'm going to try it. We're going up to the Truckee River this weekend. So this is going to be the first time taking the boy where it's not a guaranteed catch.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to get bored, but I'm still going to do it.
But you got him to be hooked, which is kind of cool. That he enjoyed it. Yeah.
Just to keep him out of trouble.
Yeah.
But before you do go there are things you have to comply with. Because if we just have one pole and I get caught with it in my hand, do I get in trouble for not having a fishing license?
I don't know.
I'm like, do I really want to drop $60 or whatever it is on... for it's probably going to be like twice a year.
Oh no, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get a ticket.
But it's like, no, it's for him. I was just helping him. Nope, you were. I don't know. But
so you're not fishing when you take him. It's always him.
I'm.
Yeah.
But here's Doug Stanhope's take on fishing.
Okay.
They say if you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, then he's got to get a fishing license, but he doesn't have any money. So he's going to get a job, and he has to get into the Social Security system and pay taxes. And now you're going to audit the poor cocksucker because he's not really good with math. You pull the IRS van up to your house, he'll take all your shit. He'll take your Black Velvet Elvis and your Batman toothbrush and your penis pump, and that all goes up for auction with the burden of proof on you because you forgot to carry the one because you were just worried about eating a fucking fish, and you couldn't even cook the fish because you needed a permit for an open flame. And then the health department is going to start asking you a lot of questions about where are you going to dump the scales and the guts. This is not a sanitary environment.
They ruined everything.
So that's kind of how I got with my,
it's
my
$60
dad would be
for the year.
I think so. But you know what? It goes towards, I think it's a great thing. So
yeah.
It's like a user's tax, It's where the people that are using it are paying for it rather than, it's like people saying, well, I don't have a kid. Why should I pay for school?
Oh, so you're
the
paying
people that are
specifically.
fishing are paying for the fishing stuff, which I think is great because,
I don't have a kid. Why should I pay for school? Did you go to school?
Yeah. Well, you don't have...
now I want to stop paying before I start having to pay.
Well, you pay for prisons too, so you can either pay more for school or more for prisons. Take your pick.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I found this article called 9 Amazing Reasons to Teach Your Kids How to Fish. And I'll post a link in the show notes. But, one of the first ones they talk about is getting kids off their cell phones and Xboxes, which, again, I saw that. And that alone was worth it just because he was involved in something and didn't even think twice about the technology.
And not fighting on it, which I think that's the huge thing, is that they're willingly, it's not that they're begrudgingly listening to you. The fact that you got him to actually enjoy it enough.
Yeah. And then when we got home, he, of course, went straight to it. But it was a nice break from early morning till early afternoon where he just didn't even think about it. So.
What I love about it is that you got him to go do something outside with you, and he listened to you and enjoyed it.
And I barely yelled at him this time.
Yeah, and that's huge. That's huge. And I find that more and more. Like, I don't feel like I yelled as much when Oli was younger. And now I wonder, is it just the combination of me? Like, am I becoming just a crotchety old man? Or is it just that they're bigger and it's more constant,
It's that, but it also matters more.
Yeah.
When they're 3 or 4, you're just yelling at them to don't put your hand in the stove. Don't.
Yeah.
Now it's stuff that has more far-reaching implications,
Yeah.
So it matters more, I think, now. So you do, my kid yelling bitch in public is going to have ramifications.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, speaking of kids, yes. Hi, Olivia.
Oh, Olivia has shown up to stand and wave at us with a queen.
Well, we're about to say a whole lot of bad words in a row. Do you want to stick around for that? Well, the thing is, you've done a good job. She's a good kid.
Mm-hmm.
So far. No, I'm kidding.
To this point.
Number 2, fishing teaches kids where food actually comes from. Which adults don't even know where this stuff comes from.
This is true, yeah.
This one I kind of find iffy. Fishing teaches survival skills.
Well, kinda. I mean, it does let them it teaches them one way to catch their own food. That makes sense.
But honestly,
I guess.
you and I, if we're both fucked.
I don't know how to. I mean, I did a couple of times fishing back then. I think I fished with my Uncle Carrie a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
But I have like zero. If I don't do something over and over,
Sure.
I have zero. Like I could barely figure out probably how to set up everything to go fish or where to go. Yeah.
I barely know what I'm doing, but I fake it enough for the kid, and he thinks that I know what I'm doing. So
yeah.
One day he'll look back and go, wow, my dad didn't know shit.
Yeah.
But they argue that which kid do you think would be more well-rounded and able to thrive and survive in the world? 1, the kid that knows how to win more video games than all of his friends, or 2, the kid that can tie knots, catch fish, clean fish, and be one with nature.
Depends. Our friend Roger started out as a tester, like at Atari years ago, and went on to become like a friggin' video game producer.
That's true.
You know, so it could be that's like the other one still knows how to fish and catch some fish, and he's like, I'll just buy my own fish.
Yeah.
An argument could be made that
he could hire someone to fish for him.
yeah. Yeah. I know
Yeah.
more than one person that started out like my friend Barry that went on to be a programmer. Like his whole thing was when he went to college, like just finding out that the stuff he was doing for fun, reprogramming games he was playing, he's like, I can turn this into a job.
Mm-hmm. This is true. Let's see. Fishing teaches kids about conservation and a love for nature.
This is true. I think that's true.
Because I think every one of us, like if we found out like our favorite fishing hole growing up was going to get bulldozed to make a parking lot, suddenly you'd be interested. Like,
but adding an In-N-Out burger, I might.
fuck In-N-Out. I think that is the most overrated shit.
A comic shop. It depends what they're going to put there. If I'd be like, my favorite fishing. Oh.
You should be used for bait.
A Daiso, that little Japanese store. I love those. I might be all right with that.
I hate you. Fucking A. I really just.
I hate you.
Nerd alert!
Let's see. Fishing teaches kids patience. If you would ask me the first time I took them, I'd say bullshit. But
Yeah.
it's so much improvement. Just
Wow.
yeah.
So it worked because it did not work with me as a kid.
Yeah, no, it did
It's
because
excruciating.
like the first time I took him, like the second he felt any nibble, he would just yank it out and just.
Oh.
And this time you would see he was like playing with it, and you could see like his little gears working in his head.
He wanted to get him this time.
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, let me try this, and then let me try that. And
Nice.
because he is not a patient kid. I've talked about it before with that whole marshmallow test, where if you don't eat the marshmallow for 5 minutes, you get a second marshmallow.
Yeah.
He'd eat it during the instructions. It's like, what? What marshmallow?
What are you talking about?
It says fishing teaches kids about the power of actual conversations, which I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Of you guys just sitting and talking.
Yeah, but I could see that happening.
Yeah.
It opens that up to where there's not that pressure.
Yeah.
But then the next one, fishing gets your kids and your entire family outside. And like, do I have to bring the entire family? No, because I think it takes away from that intimate thing where the kid feels safe.
Oh, okay.
Because where that kid, you know, where the kid feels safe is just us two, and we've been having a good day so far.
Yeah.
Instead of feeling like I got to keep everyone happy.
Yes. No, I could totally see that. And I think there's a big importance on kids getting to have their time with each parent, you know? It's very different the times that, you know, what Oli seems to get when hanging just with me or hanging with Melissa, having her own time is a big deal, I think, you know? I know she does like it when there are events or something that everyone can go to, you know?
Yeah.
And that's one thing that going back to school will be pretty cool with, because, you know, that's the things you don't get, like when she did the talent show and like all of us showed up, like my mom, and, Melissa, and everybody showed up to see it. Like, that's a big deal.
Yeah. Well, it talks about, if you take the whole family, then, there's stuff that, if you're in a good spot, there's going to be stuff for everyone to do something.
Yeah.
If the wife doesn't want to fish, you can
read.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always bring a book just in case, but it never ends up.
Yeah.
And this time I couldn't because it was, I got another one. So you never had time, which is great. I'm not complaining about that.
And one guy over there to get mad as he does it, which actually makes it kind of funny.
Well, then you got the person that's just pissed off watching the fishing.
That doesn't want to be there.
Yeah. Brian Regan has a take on watching fishing. Here goes.
I like watching fishing on TV. You ever? That'll make you worry about yourself. You ever watch fishing on TV for like 15 minutes and then just go, boy, I better get a life. I'm watching fishing. I'm not even fishing. I'm watching fishing. Too lazy to fish.
I'm too lazy to fish.
I'm taping fishing. To watch again later. Come on over. I got a fishing tape. No, a new one. And at the end of the fishing show, they roll credits. There are like 90 people involved with the two guys fishing. What are they all doing?
90 people.
And one of the credits is film editor. This poor guy. He's got to watch all the footage that's not exciting enough to make it into that final show. That's got to be hell. He's got to sit there all day just going, no, 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 no,
No.
no. Fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Oh. No. That was just the worm when he put the worm.
It's just the worm.
And I saw this credit at the end of the fishing show. I'm not making this up. Writer. I swear, there's a writer for the fishing show? What's he writing? Ooh, she's a beauty. Typing it out. Zing!
She's a beauty.
Guy's got to worry about his lines. Finally catches a fish. You have a line. Oh, it's a fish and it's a beauty. He's a beauty fish. Fish is
beauty
beauty.
fish.
He's not a fish and a beauty fish. He's a fish and beauty fish. All right, cod. You okay, man? You need some water? Are you all right?
Because you butchered that line.
God, I can't imagine like the stress of having to just put all that together because fishing's pretty much a boring activity.
Oh, yeah.
I really do wonder. It's like,
I don't want to know bad enough to watch it.
no, golf, fishing, I can't watch.
No.
Baseball, I would love to watch live. I mean, I'll watch it on TV too. Hockey, I can't watch on TV. Basketball, I just can't watch.
It's like
period.
Baseball is good in person because you can see everything if you're in a decent spot. Football, I always preferred it on TV because it's really freaking
so
hard to be in a spot where you can see everything and
It's a
really
lot of
see what's
hurry up
happening.
and wait. And
Yeah.
I love instant replay for football.
Yeah.
Not the penalty instant replay, but just like, look at what happened here. So
Yeah. Hockey's one that
live is so much better.
Yes, I always if no one takes you to that, like I didn't watch one until San Jose got their team, and I got
Same here.
tickets randomly to one of their first playoff appearances. Like while I was at San Jose State, I was like walking by and was like saw somebody I knew. Why are you in line? Oh, it's for the. I'm like, all right, I'll get a couple.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah, it's amazing.
when you can hear the smash into the wall and stuff, it's like, okay, now I can watch this game. Like, TV makes it boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, fishing, I don't know what you could do. And golf is one, though, like,
No.
I don't watch it. I don't, but I could see why it would matter because
Nope.
if you hit it and then what, everyone, like, being there live's like,
I don't think golf should be a spectator sport live or on
okay,
TV.
that makes sense to me. Yeah, because I'm like,
it's just something you do.
I can't see being there live being any different than being at like a Boston Marathon or something.
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
are you
oh,
supposed
there
to
it goes.
follow them or or is that your only spot you paid for? And now you're like, well, I saw them.
Yeah,
now,
there you went.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess you could get hired on as like fish expert for a TV show. Just be cool. What do you do? I tell people about fish.
Yep.
I don't know.
You want me to put him outside? Let me put him outside. Come on. We'll put you outside.
This is Olivia, and you're listening to Big, Big Nerds on the radio.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh. He's going to make it worse because we put him outside.
All right. So, I don't know. You just think about the 90 people involved on that TV show about fishing. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm looking for a job, so I'd take it.
You would take one. Yeah, take one of those jobs.
I think we have to get the dog back inside.
Dang it.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Hi, just showing you listen to stand-up dads.
I love those.
I know. We have to get more of them. So, anyway, I was talking about, the cast of 90 people on there. That'd be a pretty cool gig to just be like an advisor.
Yeah, yeah.
And here's Aaron Weber talking about being about 8. Geez, I said about like 9 times. Here's Aaron Weber talking about being a fish expert.
I went to an aquarium. I went to the Great Lakes Aquarium in Duluth, Minnesota, just to check it off my bucket list, right? It was sad. I don't know how an aquarium is supposed to make you feel, but it was not. It made me sad. And there was a lot of dead fish in there, and this is true, like sick turtles and yeah. And then I thought maybe they're all asleep. Because I don't know anything about animals, right? But there was a woman standing by the tank, and her tag said fish expert. So I walked up and I go, I know this is a dumb question, but do fish sleep? And she goes, I don't work here at night. I don't know.
A dad joke.
That's the fish expert.
I don't work here at night.
So anyway, they talk about fishing creates memories that matter because, you ask someone what they got for Christmas when they were 10, they don't remember usually. Yeah. But everyone seems to remember a story about fishing with a family member.
Yeah.
Or even just as kids, I used to go fishing for bluegill in this pond by our house, that type of stuff. And the last one here, fishing keeps your kids out of trouble. And their big quote is, get your kids hooked on fishing and they'll never have any money for drugs or alcohol. Just my addendum to that is you just have to ignore all the drunk guys on bass boats out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they'll find the money.
Yeah, there's always a 6-pack included in there somewhere. But, they have some tips. Again, the link's in the show notes, but the biggest tip they have is don't dress your kids like posers when you take them fishing.
Oh, we can't make them look like a little fisherman like the Morton's fisherman
No.
or something, all in yellow.
Well, because, like I said, we're going up to Truckee.
Yeah.
And my in-laws grew up on this river, so they go there every summer. That's just what they do. And recently there's been an influx of fly fishermen, which that's great. Everyone uses the river. But it's hilarious when you can see someone with like brand new gear head to toe. Like the whole wading thing up to the nipples, brand new with the creel and the brand. It's just, you can just practically see the price tag still sitting on them. And it just looks hilarious.
But how else are they supposed to do it if they're getting started? They got to go buy used stuff?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, my reel and rod are like 40 years old. It's the same one I used when I was a kid.
Yes, but you were lucky enough to get one when you were a kid.
I guess.
Some people have to start when they don't have someone who gave them something.
Yeah. Well, and then they talk about, the most important thing, and this is the one thing that was lost on my dad, was just let them be kids.
Oh, yeah, don't make it so serious. We're going to make you, Olivia's here trying to you can get one muffin or half of the muffin. Oh, what's that, donut? If they're still good, you can have one. And you're going to have to do
If they're bad, you can have 2.
You're going to have to do bumpers for us when you're done. So think of some funny things to say for stand-up dads. Oh, God, jeez. Fine. Getting paid in donuts. Is it that bad to make a bumper for us?
I'd take it.
Jeez.
Yeah, so anyway, that's the most important thing. Just, because I would get like all riled up and then be like, what are you doing, dude? He's just having fun. Let him do it. Does it matter? I mean, because my kid can't cast to save his life, but he likes to do it. But I just have to make sure there's no one around.
Yeah, so you don't get hooked.
Well, not me, but like he lets go right when he starts throwing. So if he's aiming straight ahead, it'll go straight 3 o'clock by 30 feet.
Oh.
So he could actually hurt people around us. So I got to make sure there's no one around us. There's no trees. I set something up in our backyard because we have a good sized backyard.
Yeah.
with just a little light sinker and his pole, and just had him throwing it around in the backyard. But it kept getting stuck in trees. I was like, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But he was having fun, so I just had him practicing just throwing it around.
Okay, hold on. Yes, how long are you putting that on? Start it and finish it, because we already heard the...
It's good.
You know what? That wasn't my donut to give away, so we'll have to see what her dad might be kind of mad about that.
Jesus Christ.
He won't care. He just told us to have those donuts. But that was worth your face.
Your girlfriend hates you because you're like, we're so mean at that game.
Yeah.
We played a game last night.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Gloom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an awesome game. It's basically like kind of
Nerd
like...
alert!
Yep.
Nerd alert!
He's playing a thing that says nerd alert. So it's a game where you're like, kind of like you have an Addams Family set of characters in front of you. And your goal is to make them have horrible lives and die. And the first one...
Your own family?
Your own family. And once you kill them all, once one family's completely dead, you add up the scores of every dead family member, and whoever has the highest score wins. And then you're ruining it for the other people. You can't kill your family member if they have a positive score.
Okay.
So you can give them something like, they had a wonderful day, and it'll and it's clear cards, so it's kind of cool. They can pile up, and it's constantly shifting. So I was like ready to win, and I was being pretty insufferable, like bugging.
I can't imagine.
And I kept putting cards on on Annie, and she got so mad that she at first was like, you're sleeping alone, and then she's like, you're living on the couch. And then another one, she's like, oh, I guess you're single now. And then she finally swatted some cards out of my head. I'm like, oh my God, she's overtaking Nana as the worst sport. But they worked together to make sure that I could not win, and they demolished me.
Nice.
And they did an effective job of it. But that
your daughter and girlfriend are evil.
they teamed up. It was Well, and I was so smug because I was like, I had one person to kill, and I was like, I've won this game, so enjoy. Nope. And they consistent. And then Oli's like, I think he's letting us win. I'm like, I am not, because I want to win and shove it in your. What about your dad makes you think I'm gonna let you win?
Yeah, you're just incapable.
Not if it's funny, and it would be hilarious to end it this way.
Yeah. Well, to wrap up the fishing thing, it talks about fishing brings solid kids together, and I kind of have some question marks on this one because it says, for those of you with sons, fishing is a chick magnet for good girls, and I'm like, really?
What? A chick magnet for good girls.
Yeah.
I like how they get to decide, what's a good girl.
So, and then it follows up. Now, you have a daughter, and it says, for those of you with daughters, wouldn't you rather your daughter marry a guy that likes fishing over a guy that had never caught a fish before?
No, I'd rather them just be a good person.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's very sexist right there. Like, wouldn't you rather them be a manly man with a manly truck and a manly fishing gear than a man who can't? Is he really a man?
Well, it's like I'm going to just crap on this whole thing I've talked about before, but I kind of equate fishing with like canned beer and wife beaters.
It really is a status thing of manliness that I'll see sometimes of guys drive around with giant truck. I've got my fishing gear and I've got a gun and I'm manly.
And maybe I'm confusing the fishing with hunting.
Yeah.
And, well, here's Brian Regan again talking about the differences between fishing and hunting.
Yeah.
Actually, not that. Anyway, here he is.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to learn how to multitask. So the other day, I went fishing for the first time at the same exact time as I went fishing for the last time. Checked them both off my list. Yeah, a friend asked me if I wanted to go fishing, which is weird. A guy would feel comfortable asking another guy to go fishing, but a guy would never feel comfortable asking another guy to do the same exact thing, but leave out the fishing part. Hey, Charlie, I was thinking this weekend I could swing by real early, pick you up, take you out to this lake I know about. Beautiful out there. Could watch the sun come up. The way that glistens off the lake in the early morn. Something I wouldn't want you to miss. And I figured we could just spend the day sitting real close together on a boat. You up to doing something like that with me? Can we try to kill something? Feels less weird if we're trying to kill something. Same thing with hunting. Imagine describing hunting, but just leaving out the hunting part of the explanation. Hey, Toby, good news. I found a tree fort out in the woods. I figured you and I could cozy up in that all night. Maybe wear some matching outfits. Whisper softly to each other. And if the situation's right, maybe we could put some makeup on each other's face.
I love Brian Regan.
Oh my God. I found a tree fort. I didn't even know they had stuff like that for hunting.
They have these deer stands where you just stand there like 20 feet up in a tree and just wait for something to walk by as you can shoot it.
Wow.
It's just, and then the duck blind, that's just, I could never get into the hunting part. Fishing I'm good with, but not, I don't know. But to wrap up the fishing, it gets kids outside, which I think nowadays is one of the most important things. They'll communicate because you kind of have to.
Yeah.
They learn, well, they call it learn engineering, like knot tying and stuff like that.
Oh.
They become a more patient person. They learn survival skills that you don't learn in school, which...
This is true.
Yeah. And this one, again, big asterisk. Perhaps even meet the girl or guy of their dreams. I think not. That brings us to our sponsor. If you got to get up first thing in the morning and take the family out fishing, why don't you pack a few Seattle Gummy Company high-energy mocha shots?
Yes.
It's got all the caffeine in a cup of coffee. It works 5 times faster, and it's half the price of what you would spend at a chain coffee shop. Mm-hmm. You know, we've been enjoying these for over a year. Can't say enough good things about them. If you don't want the high-energy caffeine gummies, they've got vitamin gummies. They've got CBD gummies. Click the link in the show notes, enter the code StandUpDads15, and get 15% off your order. Stand Up Dad tested and approved. Get shit done. Also, we actually have Stand Up Dad's merch.
Nice.
You can actually order that little logo on a shirt, a sticker, a mug, a hoodie, even a COVID mask.
I like the mask. That's cool.
We're going to add the link there.
And the magnets are cool.
Yeah. So click the link there. And also, you can get Gag on This merch on there too. Actually, this was Nick started all this and said, hey, you want me to throw your stuff on there? I'm like, yeah.
Cool.
So, and we're actually working on a special edition where we're combining logos, but we're still working on how that's going to look.
Yeah.
So you can get Gag on This merch. You can get Stand Up Dad merch. You can get both. So click the link there and get that. It would be great. Okay, so that brings us to...
Here's a story about a bad daddy.
The first one's not a bad dad, but a dad in a bad situation. Police told father they'd found drugs hidden in his car, but it was his daughter's ashes.
Yeah, this one makes me really angry.
Yeah, this one pissed me off.
Yeah.
This is in Springfield, Illinois. They used body cam footage to confirm all this. Guy got pulled over for speeding. He got handcuffed and thrown in the car.
I know. Yeah.
It's like, you know, yes, he's a black dude because I don't know what it's like to get thrown in a car for speeding.
Yes. Yes.
And they searched his car. They found an urn, and they said, oh, this thing, we're going to test what's in here because we think it's drugs. And he's like, dude, that's my daughter.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, whatever. And then I guess the guy's dad was there as well. So that's my granddaughter in there. They still opened it up without
ridiculous
permission.
Yes.
And yeah, it's his 2-year-old daughter's ashes. So he is now suing the police department, and I hope he gets...
I hope he demolishes them. They need more of this stuff to happen because that is just so above and beyond disgusting that you pulled someone over for speeding. You have no reason or anything showing that you think that they're hiding a bunch of drugs. And come on, like those urns. So that's just them assuming, like, I don't believe you have it in there. Maybe this is where you're hiding drugs.
Of course, it would be a good idea to hide it.
Well, yeah, but that's not why you pull them over. Like, yeah.
No, it's just
or you really, really think that, then take it and make some other. Don't just freaking open it.
Yeah. Well, I think you should.
Ridiculous.
Need a warrant to do stuff like that. But
yes.
This is the voice of white privilege speaking here.
Well, and just, yeah.
And then this brings us to our actual bad dad. Anaheim dad accused of trying to kill estranged wife at son's flag football game.
What the hell?
And looking at the picture, doesn't he look like the guy that used to run Blacktop?
I never met the guy.
Paul? You never met him?
No, I didn't.
Well, Paul, we love you. You're a great guy. And hopefully...
this is not him.
This is not him. But an Anaheim man is behind bars after he tried to kill his estranged wife at their son's flag football game.
And he's got such a smile on this picture.
Yeah, he's looking kind of smug.
Yeah, ridiculous.
So 43-year-old Russell Husges charged across the field carrying 2 large butcher knives.
Oh, my God.
So apparently the wife was watching his 9-year-old son play flag football. Spectators in the stands and an off-duty police officer jumped in to stop the attack, which is good, so no one got hurt. Apparently, the mom had been granted a family court order against Husges a few weeks before the attack, so I guess he got all pissed off. And so now he's charged with 1 felony count of attempted murder, 1 count of felony assault with deadly weapon other than a firearm, a misdemeanor count of disobeying a domestic relations court order, and a misdemeanor count of child abuse and endangerment.
Wow.
Getting all sorts of these rules that I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
But I just don't get it. What do you think is going to happen? Like, I know, I'll just kill her.
I know, in front of everyone back. And in front of my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to win him and get the court on my side.
Yeah.
I killed his mother in front of him at his...
You've got to give him back to me.
At his game, because where else could he go now? She's dead. Yeah.
So...
Yeah.
Yeah, so Russell Husges
has fully proven that he should never have a child in his in his care again.
He should never look that happy in a mugshot.
I know. That makes it even worse. The guy's like psychotic.
Tell us what you think. Email us at thestandupdads@gmail.com. Subscribe, rate the show. It's how the show grows. If you want to hire someone to draw a picture of a kid trying to cast a fishing line and snagging his dad in the balls, who would they write to?
Is that what happened to you?
No,
but that's your fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fear.
Actually, my fear is him getting me in the eye, because my brother-in-law, when he was a kid, apparently got a hook in the eye. Not the eyelid, but in the actual eye.
Oh.
So I think I'd rather get it in the balls than in the eye.
Oh, my God. That's awful.
And I know you would love to draw that.
Well, you can write to me at Pencil for Hire. That's pencil, FOR, hire.com, or Pencil for Hire on Instagram.
Mike's done plugging it, but I'm not. Mike has an autobiographical comic collection called Clumsy Love. Mm-hmm. It is a wonderful collection of like 600 comic strips collected over like 5 years of him before and after having kids.
Yes.
Click the link and get it. It's hilarious. I guarantee you'll love it, or your next podcast is free. Again, Seattle Gummy Company. We love this product. Just click the link in the show notes. Enter the code StandUpDads15. Get 15% off your order.
They're delicious, and they're so delicious. Do not eat more than the suggested amount.
You're such a child.
I have tested this for you. Do not eat more than it recommends.
Yes. Even if you think you have a high tolerance. Finally, get my side project, the gag on this podcast that's run by Big Nick. We just recorded last night with the Po' Boys podcast. Had a blast. This dude's out in Arkansas, and he just had a great time roasting us, and it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
check that out. And take your kids outside, get them fishing. We'll talk to you guys next week.
Talk to you next week.
Bye.
The thing I want to say is thank you all for coming. Bye-bye.